Time for the only radio show of its kind. Auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, veterans of vintage. It's the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. For the next hour, enjoy great information about buying and selling antiques and collectibles, and some interesting stories. Now, the Donley Auctions Hour.
Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour. Thank you for joining us. We are here every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. I'm Susan. I'm here with Randy Donley, and we are the owners of Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois. We're just 60 miles west of Chicago, folks, and we are here today to help you determine if you have any valuable items at home that you might want to sell at auction. Hi, Randy.
Hey, Susan.
Let's talk about things happening at Donley Auctions this week. Another crazy week.
What a busy week. We've got, we're setting up for the show, which is less than a week away now.
The Spring Classic.
The auction, yeah.
The auction. The April Spring Classic is April 27th, 28th, 29th, so next week.
Right. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right. The preview is Wednesday from noon to 7. Mark your calendar so you can come on out and see what we have up for auction. You can start making your wish list right there on the premises with us.
And of course, on Wednesday, Sean Thompson. I
big announcement.
Can't say that enough. Can't say that enough.
Sean Thompson will be there live from 4 to 7 broadcasting his show at Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois. It is free admission. Sean will be there to hopefully answer some questions, say hi to him, but he's doing his show live from 4 to 7. So you can come out anytime, really, after 12 o'clock to preview the auction or come to see Sean at 4.
That in itself is going to be fun. But if you haven't been to an auction before or our gallery, I mean, you need to really come out and take a look. And the preview day is a perfect time to do it. I was just walking through the hall today, and I'm just really surprised at how much fun, interesting stuff there is to be had. I mean, I'm looking at the bars alone. I mean, there's a big old saloon bar out of the state of New York that has all kinds of great history to it. There's a ice cream parlor back bar, a barbershop back bar, and then I just look up in the air and I see all the chandeliers hanging there.
And how about those signs that just came in too? Those big signs that you just hung up. Those look great.
Yeah, all the old porcelain signs and everything. And it's obviously a lot of it is thanks to you, our listeners, who call us all the time.
That's right.
And let us know about this stuff. But, even though this is not our music auction, again, I'm surprised at how much really good music items there are, like the Nickelodeons that Dave Ramey Jr. came in and worked on for us. He made sure everything's in great working order. Some really scarce pieces like the Seeberg G, which is a very fine instrument, and other Nickelodeons. I mean, we've got about 5 Nickelodeons and a large selection of music boxes. Normally our music boxes are saved for the music auction, which is coming up in June.
Right.
But these music boxes are in this auction, which is just a few days away now, and we've got jukeboxes and just all kinds. As I'm looking at the back bar, I looked and said, "Wow, we've even got the swinging doors off of an old saloon." Just you name it.
And those are the kinds of things we're looking for too. If anyone out there, any of our listeners, if you know of anyone who is trying to renovate something and has a bar and back bar, they don't know what to do with it, call Donley Auctions, 815-923-7000.
That's one thing we find so often right here in the Chicago suburbs, Chicago too, of course, is bars and back bars.
Right.
We love bars and back bars.
For some reason, we love the big, heavy stuff. I don't know what that is, but everything's big and heavy.
I know you get mad at me all the time when we move this big, heavy stuff.
Can't we just deal in diamonds and stamps that fit in our pocket? Come on.
Political buttons, how's that?
That's correct,
and coins. But no, we don't. We take the big, heavy stuff, so we're always looking for more.
And what we always like to remind our listeners of, send us an email at consign@donleyauctions.com. Send us some pictures and just a brief description of what you have, and we will give you direction on next steps.
Yeah.
But I think you want to say something about that, too, don't you, Randy?
Well, I just wanted to point out to everybody, actually, that we're online right now, so they can see everything online.
Yes.
If we keep talking about what we have and everything, but it's just so much to view. There's so much stuff. But getting back to what you said, Susan, I do want to point out that I was at the gun show this last week at Kane County, the Kane County Gun Show, and I saw a lot of our listeners. There are so many people. It was nice to see you all. Thank you for coming to my booth to say hello. But one of the first gentlemen said to me, Randy, I followed your rules. You keep saying, follow the rules. And send photos and everything. He said, I did just that, and I didn't hear back from you. And he said, I have to say, Randy, I sent this out 2 times, and then finally, he said, after a couple weeks, finally got a phone call, and he said, I think that's a little excessive, and I was so hurt and embarrassed, because truly we do try to get back to you way sooner than 2 weeks. We've had a really nice insurgence of calls, but we, truly, I will answer every call, every email personally, and I will work at doing it,
in your spare time from like midnight to 6 a.m. You can respond to all those.
I don't think many people want to hear from me at that time.
There's a lot of requests. We really appreciate it. Don't get us wrong. We do need some time to review everything. We also consult with our experts, especially on art and some other things like that. So it takes time to get in touch with them because we want to give you the good information right out of the gate.
But at least what we will be doing is acknowledging we got your email.
Can do that.
We can do that. Let's do
we
that.
now have a system in place to manage all of that. So be patient.
But I do listen to your comments. So if you've got some thoughts and ideas like that, I appreciate hearing.
Yeah,
good or
this
bad.
is all new to us too. So we're learning. Give us your thoughts for sure.
So. Again, I'm walking through the hall today, and I'm looking at those big, huge printing presses. Oh my goodness, 3 big old.
Yeah, like I said, big heavy stuff. Yeah. Oh my
the
gosh.
Washington
I don't even
presses.
think we can move those.
Man, if you collect printing, this is a rare opportunity because these things just aren't around. All this stuff has been collected up. Mm-hmm. Most of it you're not going to find in an old print shop anymore. And the vehicles I'm looking at. We just had the carburetor rebuilt on that 74 Cadillac Eldorado because, we noticed it needed some work. And, boy, I was driving that. What a big boat.
It's a convertible.
Yeah, the Eldorado. But, man, does it run smooth. And then I was in that little 03 Mercedes driving that around. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and all these cars are up for auction on Friday, April 28th. That's kind of our highlight night because we do partner with the Chicagoland Coin Op Show in Grays Lake. So after the show, everybody comes out to Union. We provide dinner and drinks for everyone, complimentary. So you can come out to the auction as an evening event. So a lot of the key pieces, the motorcycles, the cars, we got a couple boat motors, all the coin-out machines, the Nickelodeons, Friday night.
All the popcorn machines,
popcorn
a
machines
huge
too,
popcorn collection, even a Model T. A Model T truck that used to sell popcorn out of the back end of it. I mean, that's really a neat
It's
vehicle.
really hard to categorize everything we have. There's just so many categories of things that you got to come out and see it.
Well, and that's why I say come on out for the viewing, too.
Right.
Yeah.
So Thursday, we have another auction on Thursday. That's in the afternoon around 2:30, and that is completely different stuff. That's clocks and vintage clothing and furniture. I can't remember what else we have in there. Music boxes. There's some antique music in there. So a lot of stuff on Thursday as well. And then Saturday, the whole day is antique and vintage toys.
Wow.
Wow, what a great collection we got on that one.
And, that's really an amazing collection because it spans the gamut of ages. There's early cast iron, there's tin, and then there's even the more modern toys even from the 70s and 80s that, are plastic and everything. But so much of this is new in box. We just got this great collection out of Arlington Heights here, and it'll all be for sale.
What I found interesting is the value of those robot toys. So, again, we always want to let you know what's valuable in your house. Those robot toys sell very well these days, don't they?
They sure do.
Yeah.
They sure do.
Vintage toys for sure. I think history is repeating itself. Yeah. It's coming back around.
But now, Susan, what do we have coming up in the next segment?
Okay, don't go anywhere because coming up, you're not going to believe it, Kristin Knievel, Evel Knievel's granddaughter, is going to be on the phone with us in our next segment. And wait till you hear what she's going to be talking about because Evel Knievel pinball machine is going to be in the auction coming up on Friday, April 28th. And Kristin's going to be here to talk to us about it. So don't go anywhere.
Actually, she came out and actually did a video with me.
She was here yesterday.
Playing the pinball machine.
Right. You might have gotten an email from us already on that as well. So we're going to talk about the April Spring Classic. Kristin's going to be here in our next segment. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on AM 560, The Answer.
They've been called auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, even veterans of vintage. And they can introduce themselves. Thanks for listening. This is the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. I am co-owner of Donley Auctions. I'm here with my partner, Randy Donley. We own Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, just 60 miles west of Chicago. We have a special guest today, folks. And she's on the line with us. Her name is Kristin Knievel. She is the granddaughter of the famous Evel Knievel and the daughter of the also very famous Robbie Knievel. Hi, Kristin.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks for joining us. Isn't it just so random that we have you on our show today, but there's a good reason for it. We have
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for coming in. We have an Evel Knievel pinball machine in our auction on Friday, our big April Spring Classic. And we have an Evel Knievel pinball machine that was, manufactured by Bally in 1977. And our photographer, Jim, said, hey, I know the granddaughter of Evel Knievel. Maybe she could come in and do a little video with us. And that's what happened yesterday.
And thank you for that, Kristin. That video turned out really nice. I've got a lot of comments on it already.
Yeah, we got video of Kristin.
Absolutely. It was so fun.
Kristin actually playing the pinball machine and signing some photos and everything like that. But thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Kristin.
Well, I am a mother of three. I live, in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Pretty much spent the majority of my life here, I would say. I tried to get out of Chicago and move around a bit, but it just never happened.
We say the same thing. It's been 50 years.
We all try to escape, right?
Yes.
But something just keeps dragging us back here.
Exactly.
Because I have a lot of family out west. So definitely, I went to graduate school at ASU. So I'm back here. I live here. I have three kids. I work remotely. I have a band.
Well, that's what I want to talk
about the band.
Yeah, I want to hear about the band. I'm waiting for that part.
Yeah. So I'm a lead singer, female vocals for Knievel's Daredevil Band. We're generally a five-piece. We do a lot of classic rock, 80s, 90s, some current stuff. But I also have a duo as well where I sing with my male singer / keyboard player, John Guarini. So he and I are out and about in the area, too, doing duo shows.
That's wonderful. I'm sorry we missed you at the best place to see an outdoor music event is at Nico's.
That place is
Nico's
so fun,
Red Mill in Woodstock. Nico's, we love you. Thank you for having the Knievel Daredevils there. I hear she'll be back in September, so I'm bringing my whole crew. We're coming out to support you. But before then, you're also playing at the Black Barrel Live in Old Town, Chicago on North Avenue, Saturday, May 13th. If you want to see the Knievel Daredevils, mark your calendar, May 13th. But let's segue into that fantastic pinball machine.
Again, we were so thrilled when you came out and played it because, that's a really highlight machine of the Bally, the line, because it was one of the first solid state machines ever made back in 1977. So it on its own is, a real collector's item. But It was so fun to have you out there playing it. And I understand you have one, too.
I do. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've played any of those older pinball machines, but especially an Evel Knievel one. I do have one. It's sitting in my garage. It needs to be fixed, truth be told.
That's okay.
Yeah,
We've got a guy. We've got a guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I'm excited to get it up and running.
And to our listeners, the Evel Knievel machine that we had, or have actually for sale coming up, came out of a beautiful home in Highland Park, and the machine is mint. You know, many people love to hear where things come from so that they don't think it came out of some old, stinky, dirty tavern somewhere that's just beat to death. No, this machine is really high-end all the way. Again, it's been formerly owned, and cared for in a home, not a bar. And it did not get beat up. So if you want an Evel Knievel machine, this is one to buy.
That's right. We also have
it was beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, we have a Captain Fantastic pinball machine also.
Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff there.
The reason for even bringing this up is that pinball machines sell very well at auction. Arcade games, pinball machines, slot machines. So if any of our listeners out there, if you have one, give us a call. Send us an email at consign@donleyauctions.com. Send us some pictures. And we'll be able to give you an honest valuation. Is it something that we want to come pick up for you? We'll tell you what the next steps are.
You bet. So back to you, Kristin. Again, I just want to keep thanking you for coming on today. But what was it like? I mean, growing up with two legends. So many people, of course, know Evel. He was the first, real big daredevil, in this entire country. But then your father following in his footsteps, breaking his records. I mean, most people today probably remember Robbie even more than Evel because he was more in my lifetime. I was at the tail end of Evel. But Robbie had a fabulous record. What was it like growing up? And do you even ride a motorcycle yourself?
I don't currently ride a motorcycle. My dad did teach me how to ride. I learned on a little Honda 50, which is just basically, it's a little mini bike. I mean, there's no clutch or anything on it. And then eventually he did teach me how to ride one with a clutch. What was it like? So I get asked this question a lot, and I feel like I always have a hard time answering it. To me, it was just normal. So I had this conversation yesterday with actually my dad's crew chief, and he's like, I remember the Grand Canyon jump, and you were standing there, and you had this look on your face. You were terrified, and I'm like, but what choice did I have? It was normal to me,
Right, just a normal day in the Knievel family.
Yeah, it's like when you grow up in any other kind of lifestyle where you just don't know any different, and you just kind of adapt to it, right? And it's just like, well, this is normal, I guess. I don't know.
Right?
Is it traumatic? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm okay. I think I'm okay, right? But
I was just.
But it was different. If I were to compare it to everybody else that I was side by side that I was in school with, nobody's dad was doing that. So.
Right. I saw I was doing some research today, and there's a documentary out there about Evel called Being Evel. Have you seen that?
I have, yep.
Is that something you would recommend we watch? I'd love to hear about the history of your family and how we got started and everything. I'm sure it's there's some interesting stories there.
Being Evel is great. Yeah, there's a documentary actually too about my dad called Chasing Evel. I think those two you can find. I want to say on like Tubi. I can't remember. There's so many different TV apps now. I come from the era of you put the VHS and the VCR and you put it on channel 3 and hit play.
Yes. Yes.
But now there's like a million different.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I'm curious too, Kristin. Is there anyone else in the family carrying on the Knievel legacy? Your kids or anything?
No, not as far as jumping motorcycles. I have a few cousins that ride and that race, motocross, but I don't think anybody's looking to really make a career out of it, mainly because we've seen what it can do, long-term physically, and also just watching Dad and Grandpa go through the things that they did or just being there and being present for it. It's not something that we push or recommend, I guess, to anybody. Yeah. So,
one line that I'll never forget from your father, I believe, is he said, athletes have other athletes as competitors. My competitor is death. And, I never thought about that, but that's exactly.
It's a great quote from your dad.
Oh, my goodness. Everything that these guys did was life and death. There was you couldn't make a mistake in that field because it meant broken bones or death. Incredible.
Yeah, you really couldn't, and that's why the fact that that my dad even had a 40 plus year career is pretty much unheard of in the industry, because you do unfortunately either end up paralyzed, addicted to painkillers, or just injured in some way, or dead, unfortunately. So
right. Well, again, we're sorry about your dad's passing recently in January. He has left quite a stamp on the world. And Kristin, we really appreciate you joining us today. Folks, don't forget to go see the Knievel Daredevils. Kristin, the lead singer, I can't wait. Don't forget I play the tambourine, so I'll have to get up on stage again.
and
May 13th in Chicago.
And maybe there's a chance you might come out and be with us for the preview with Sean Thompson, correct?
Yep. I will try. Absolutely.
Check her busy schedule. But the Spring Classic next week, the Evel Knievel pinball machine up for auction on Friday, April 28th. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on AM 560. Thank you, Kristin. The Answer.
You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. You're here today with Susan and Randy Donley of Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois. And the purpose of our show is to help you evaluate items you might have in your house that you might want to sell at auction.
Wasn't that a fun segment with Kristin?
We just had a special guest on, Kristin Knievel.
And you know what? It's interesting that I think the legacy is going to end. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any more daredevils coming out of that family.
You never know.
It's just.
She says they're not pushing it, so who knows?
It's so dangerous. But it kind of leads me into actually my own daughter, Shauna.
She's a daredevil, too.
Well, we have had the Wild West Town. Everybody knows Donley's Wild West Town for the 50-year run in the Chicago area out in Union, Illinois. And we had live action stunt shows. And we performed a little Wild West show. So my daughter, as a teenager, of course, got into the acting. And so today, she is a professional stunt woman and is all over the country, but she does Chicago Fire and all the basics. So
she's had a broken bone or two.
Oh my goodness, exactly. And
dangerous
so it's a career that I don't enjoy having my daughter in. But along with the stunt business, she's a realtor in Chicago.
That's right,
and does high-end realty. And she's going to be heading up a real estate division for Donley Auctions.
That's right. Big news.
Susan, so many times we get into homes where we're selling off the contents of the homes, and I'll just casually say, well, wait a minute, what are you doing with the real estate? And most people don't have a realtor or a plan yet.
Right. They're usually so overwhelmed with the stuff, they forget about the house.
So often, Shauna gets the call to sell the real estate. So that's what kind of our natural next step in Donley Auctions. We will have a realty division, so we will be able to sell your home for you either outright and or at auction.
That's right. So, Randy, tell me, I'm always curious, what are the advantages of going to auction with a piece of property versus going through a real estate agent?
Well, one of the big things is timing. You can, sell it quick. If there's a piece of property that needs to be sold in a week, for example, an auction's going to do it. And And another thing about an auction is you never know what you can get. You can set a reserve on a price for a piece of real estate, and who knows? You only need two people bidding against each other to push a price through the roof. And even so often, just when a house is listed, very, very often people end up getting more than asking price because you get kind of what I would call a mini auction. Right at the end, somebody puts in a full price offer. Well, you would think they would own the home, right?
Right.
Oh, no. Same day, somebody says, well, no, I'll give you more than somebody else. I'll give you more than that. So it happens quite often in real estate where people end up getting a more than full price offer. But at the auction, I mean, you can have an auction advertised where, it can go on for, several hours and days. And you can often get more.
Well, I'm excited about this new adventure and working with Shauna and the Donley Real Estate Division. So keep us in mind if you have anything out there, not just houses, but property.
Right.
Right. And, of course, pinball machines.
Exactly. But, when we're talking about stunts and Shauna in the movies and everything, she doesn't just do TV shows. She does a lot of feature films and so on and so forth. That brings us right into movie memorabilia.
That's right.
We're always looking for movie memorabilia.
Right.
And in this auction, we actually have John Belushi's jacket that he didn't wear in a movie, but it was his road jacket for his musical tour that he took across the country, and the Road to Ruin tour.
Yeah, it's a great jacket.
Yeah,
it's reversible.
From the Blues Brothers band.
That's right. And you can see that if you go to our website at donleyauctions.com and click on the auction button. It's a big red button. You can't miss it. And it'll take you to the catalog, and you can see everything in our auction. Now, the Belushi jacket is going up on Friday. So every day is listed there. Just pick Friday, and you'll be able to get some more details on the Belushi jacket. Wow.
And, of course, if you've got movie memorabilia of any kind, let us know. Just simply email us at donleyauctions.com, correct?
Consign at donleyauctions.com with photos, little brief description, any provenance you might have. Movie memorabilia sells well. I don't know so much about current movie posters or old posters. What do you know about posters?
Well, of course, the oldest posters sell well, but there's so many reproductions now. People call us to come in and look at a poster collection, and we can show them right out that, unfortunately, in most cases, they've got a bunch of reproductions that are worth, just dollars.
So what kind of memorabilia are we looking for in the movie category?
Anything that would have been movie used,
okay.
Especially
Projectors?
vehicles. Look, we've got a car that was used by Harrison Ford in the Last Crusade. So, and that's coming up this Friday.
That's right. That's also in our car section of the auction on Friday, April 28th. You guys got to come out.
Come
1936
Steyr.
Date night. We'll have food and drinks. Comfortable place for you to sit. So join us after the break. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour every Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on AM 560, The Answer.
And now, more of the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. Thanks for sticking with us during that break. Susan and Randy here talking about upcoming auctions. Oh, my gosh. This past week has just been crazy. We just had Kristin Knievel on the show today. Just a lot of stuff coming up. Sean Thompson next week, next Wednesday.
Boy, this is a great opportunity, folks. You've all heard Sean. You know who and what the man stands for. It's just a powerhouse, and he's going to be broadcasting live from our facility. Come to Donley Auctions on Wednesday.
That's right. If you need our address, just go to donleyauctions.com. Our phone number, address, email, everything's listed there. And we just got done talking about our new real estate division, which is going to be headed up by your daughter, Shauna.
Shauna Donley.
Excited about that.
Yep.
Really, all you really want to say about that is we're just going to end up being a one-stop shop for everybody.
Well, yeah, right now we come in and we can sell all the contents, but, being able to sell the real estate also is, just a big bonus. We've been doing it. We just haven't been promoting it.
Right, right. So give us a call, 815-923-7000. Email us at consign@Donley. It's DONLEY, auctions.com.
And we certainly work with attorneys and executors. So if you're settling an estate, we can help.
That's right. And banks as well. Don't they get a lot of contacts of people don't know what to do with their estates?
We do a lot of work with banks.
So give us a call.
And museums. Don't forget, museums need to liquidate.
Just got a call from one the other day. No, you saw someone at the show.
At the show, yeah. Speaking of which, being at the gun show is always an interesting scenario. We've got a gun and military show coming up in May.
May 20th and 21st.
You're right. So if you do know of any gun collections out there, give us a call.
Not just a whole collection, but one. We'll take one. We'll take several. We'll take hundreds.
And military relics. There's so many folks out there that have uniforms and groupings and so on and so forth. It just brings great money. We can make all these big items fit in your wallet. One of our taglines. So you need to give us a call. Let us know what you have or email us.
That's right. And even military vehicles, cannons. There's so much stuff coming up in this auction in May. The catalog will be ready in a couple weeks. So, again, you'll want to check out our website at donleyauctions.com for the May auction gun and military catalog.
You got it. So, what else have we got coming up?
Well, what kind of things are we looking for, Randy? I know people have things in their house. Let's be more specific on what can they consign to us in any of our upcoming auctions.
Well, always, the basics. The basics are, guns, military relics. We're always looking for big sign collections. So many people had man caves and what's the other term? She sheds?
She sheds, yes. Yes.
She sheds. Okay, I'll bite on that. But people collect, and they put it all in one room or warehouses and so on and so forth. So big collections is what we're really going after, and that is porcelain signs, gas pumps.
Neon signs are great. They're hard to ship, but we got a way to get them to our customers
and we'll
now.
even take them off a building. If you have an old building with a sign hanging on it and don't want to pay the exorbitant rates now that you have to pay to hang signs above your building.
Well, my favorite one is the Chicago Joe's sign.
Chicago
Joe's. It's now living comfortably in California.
No, actually, that ended up in Michigan.
Oh, it's in Michigan. Okay.
Yeah.
You can go visit it.
And it's in a huge man cave that's just full of antique cars and just an old converted school.
That's right.
Yeah. It's neat as can be. But that's some of the things that we're looking for.
Right. We just want to give people direction because some of the emails we're getting are very all over the board. Because I don't think people really understand what we're looking for just yet. A lot of tchotchke stuff.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, right. Your Hummels or your
little collectibles
Franklin
like that.
Mint and stuff like that. That's not for us. Not that it won't sell somewhere, but it's not what we sell.
Right. Right. So we do want to review everything you have before we take the next steps and come out and see what you have. We can even make an appointment to do that, but just give us an idea before we waste anybody's time. Like even furniture. Furniture is a tough sell. We get a lot of emails about furniture.
It is, but we did take some furniture for this auction
because
it was all heavily carved with winged griffins and so on and so forth. So if you've got beautiful furniture that's just carved to death and or some of this mid-century modern stuff,
that's
Susan,
true. That does sell well. I think
phenomenal
the new
money.
Designer look.
So regardless of what you have, please send us photos and we will tell you what you have. I mean, that's our job for you, is to tell you what's good and what's not, and
that's right.
The value is.
We have some great furniture pieces coming up in our auction next week, Thursday.
Right.
It's Furniture Day. Furniture, vintage clothing. People love vintage clothing. I'm always shocked at how well vintage clothing sells. So we're always looking for some good pieces out there with that. I saw a tuxedo on a mannequin wearing a top hat, so I can't imagine what else is on those racks. Again, come on out. We have the preview on Wednesday, April 26th from noon to 7 p.m. Come out, look, touch, feel, and smell all the stuff we got. And then, of course, you can look, touch, and smell Sean Thompson at 4 o'clock.
I don't know about the last part. You be careful there.
Sean will be broadcasting live from 4 to 7. I can't wait for that. And then the auction is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday is furniture, clocks, more household items. Friday, cars and great coin up. Saturday, toys. Come see us, folks, in Union, Illinois. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. Don't go anywhere. We're here every Saturday at 1 o'clock on AM 560, The Answer.
The Donley Auctions Hour continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. Susan and Randy Donley here with Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois. We have some fun things coming up this weekend. Randy, tell us what you're doing today.
Well, today is the Civil War show at DuPage County Fairgrounds.
That's
and that's
right, in
where we're
Wheaton.
set up. Yes, we are. And so there's still time. I mean, we end here at 2 o'clock. If you've got some time, the show will go on till at least 4 o'clock. Come on out to DuPage County Fairgrounds and see us at the show.
Come see Randy. Say hi. Say you heard him on the radio.
Yep, we're set up the Civil War show, and people did come out. Thank you. Last week, I met people at the Lake County Fairgrounds, so it's always fun when you come to see us. And we're also going to be out handing out literature at the toy show, which is going on at
Where's that? In St. Charles?
It is.
It's at the King County Fair? Okay.
King County Fairgrounds. That's this weekend, the toy show. It'll go on Sunday also, so don't miss that. And, we're looking for more toys. We're setting up our next auction already, so I don't want people to think, well, the April auction I missed and there's no opportunities. We continue to run auctions. Multiple auctions. We can have 3 auctions in a month because a lot of our auctions are online only. So if you have toys out there. Right.
Toys are fantastic. They're small. I like
they're
small
shippable.
Stuff. They're shippable.
We're in the shipping business.
That's right.
For all of our online people and so on. But toy collections, we're always looking for more toys.
That's right, because we can do one whole auction on just toys online and to reach thousands and thousands of people across the world. So that's the way to sell it, really.
Seriously, when we get into a toy collection, it runs into 1,000 toys. It's incredible what people have in their homes. But we'll take them all. We'll move them out. We'll get them priced and online and get them sold for you.
That's how we got the collection that we do have. We got a listener that called, sent us some photos. You immediately went out there with a crew and a truck and brought back all these fabulous toys that are in their original boxes.
That's right.
So that auction is on Saturday, April 29th. The auction starts at 10 a.m. That one's live, though, folks. You can come out to Donley Auctions Saturday morning. We'll have coffee and donuts. We'll even have lunch for you. So come on out to the auction on Saturday if you're interested in vintage and antique toys.
Right, but it is live and online.
Live and online, that's correct.
So if you can't come out, simply go to our catalog at donleyauctions.com and you can view it right away.
That's right. You can bid online. And here's how you can bid at an auction. Several ways to do that. Yes, you can bid online. Yes, you can do it from home, but there's an extra 5% fee you have to pay to those platform services for the convenience of not coming to Donley Auctions. We want you to come to Donley Auctions, so come out to our place. You can bid live. You can also place an absentee bid, which is just a bid on your behalf at the max that you're going to allow. And then we'll just work our way up to whatever that max may be. The other way you can bid is on the phone, and I have bid on phone with people who are at the beach and on vacation, and I'm just on the phone with you bidding on your behalf. So we also do that, but that's really for items reserved for about $500 and over on the value, and I have a ton of phone bids coming up for the April auction for people who can't be here, and that's okay.
That's right.
We can still take your bids. So go to DonleyAuctions.com to see the catalog. Come out to Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois to see the auction. The preview's on Wednesday. Sean Thompson's at 4 o'clock. There's so much going on, folks. You got to come out and see us. And then give us a call or talk to us in person if there's anything you'd like to talk about that you have in your basement or house, because we're going to fit it in your wallet, folks. So don't go anywhere. I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley.
And
we'll see you at the auction.
Thanks for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. Check out all the latest information on upcoming auctions and collectibles at DonleyAuctions.com. And while you're there, you can contact someone about buying or selling your collectibles or estates. That's DonleyAuctions.com.